a memory care facility. And the 9-year-old victim was, I guess she was hit by another resident there or patient there.
Did you call police?
I'm scared and I'm hurt and I'm afraid and I can't defend myself against this attack.
Good evening, Bethesda Gardens. This is Dragana speaking. How can I help you?
It shouldn't have happened to her.
So what happened?
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
They can't even tell us their names. Like, this is, terrible.
Shouldn't that be like an automatic?
She just hit her with her hand?
With the hanger.
She was hitting the other one, so she got blood all over her.
She had no way to protect herself.
Looked like a puncture wound there somewhere.
It's not her first incident where she's hitting people.
And they were supposed to protect her. It's hard. But that's a terrible thing to think about your mother having to, that's her last thoughts.
I guess before I go on, I best take this time and just remind you that you are listening to Sun Sounds, and this is Joanne Thompson bringing you Second Mile.
My mom had a weekly show.
Today I am going to read for the first half of the program some articles that have to do with winter. Not the kind of wonderful winters that we have here in Arizona.
Individuals blind or stroke victims or whoever wanted the newspaper, books, and whatever read to them, magazines, they got a special transmitter, a special radio. You could only hear these if you were a subscriber, and so I never got a chance to hear it. I didn't have the transmitter, and I'd ask, and she'd say, I try to get a copy of it, I'll try to get a copy of the thing. And it never really happened. It was just one of those things that never occurred. Later, my husband and I were clearing out her room at Bethesda Gardens, emptying the drawers, and I opened up, and it's a cassette tape of her show.
As I sit beside my window in the silence of the night, I can see the swirling snowflakes turn my world to gleaming white.
I used to find things crazy, things put away in funny places, because you lose that, when you have dementia.
No longer able to keep the pace, I half sighed, half stumbled down the incline, heading for the creek below.
Like anyone, she didn't want to accept that she was losing her mental capacities. She was staying at another place where she was in assisted living, and they told me, you have 2 weeks to move her because she's wandering. In the middle of a pandemic to go, you have 2 weeks, or we're going to charge you $10,000 a month? I would sit in my office, every day crying, going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I need an answer. Finally found Bethesda Gardens, which someone recommended to me.
Sounds to me like that's a lucky person that has such a beautiful place to go and contemplate life.
I'm not a person who doesn't do their due diligence, so I went online and I read reviews. I wanted my mom in a safe place that I believe she would be cared for. That was also specially equipped to handle someone with dementia. And this was a memory care place as opposed to just assisted living. So I thought this is a better facility for her than where she's been at. I thought it was the right thing to do.
It was a Friday night about sundown.
So my mother evidently wheeled herself into the assailant's room by accident. She has dementia. Assailant, she also had dementia, perceived my mother as a threat and assaulted her with 2 wire hangers.
Holy moly. Just leave it there. Just drop it. Thank you.
Bethesda Gardens has an open door policy.
Okay, when you get a chance, I would contact both power of attorneys and let them know what happened, right?
I'm not sure.
I
I'd rather
would.
let them.
Because they should know that one's to the hospital and one just beat up somebody with a hanger,
Yeah. Okay.
I think. So, yeah, I would do that.
I don't know. I can ask my boss the procedure if you don't mind.
So I get the phone call, and I know it's bad because it's 7:30 on a Friday night, and the manager to the memory care facility is not going to be calling me at that time of night with good news. He said, "Has anyone called you?" But she had blood on her face. As a precaution, again, that is the words he said, as a precaution, we sent her to the hospital.
Did anybody see this happen? No. Or are you just assuming she did this, or?
Get out. That's what.
There's no way she could have fell. There's no way she could have hurt herself in any way.
So I get to the hospital, and so the nurse comes and gets me, and we're walking down the hall, and she says, "Do you know what happened?" I said, "No, I have no idea." And she goes, "Your mom was attacked by a fellow resident." And it's like somebody took a flippin' ice pick to her face. I'm sorry, it was terrible. I was knocked to my knees. Nobody talked to me. That was it. A nurse from the hospital tells me what happened. I text the manager and I said, this is really serious. My mom's hurt badly. It was not a beating she could survive.
Do we know who hit?
Yes, we do.
Like, do you think she's going to be aggressive with officers, or is this more just situational?
I don't think she can be aggressive with them. I don't know.
She's still holding the hanger, but I want fire department to check on her, make sure she's good. Ma'am, I'm police, okay?
People with dementia can act out in anger. There was multiple previous incidences, punching, biting, stabbing with a utensil.
Watch your hands, ma'am.
No,
Watch your...
Dad, get away from me.
Come on, lady.
No!
Lady.
Ah!
Why wasn't something more specific done?
Get away from me.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Why wasn't that person put under greater supervision? Why weren't they monitored more? Why weren't they separated from other residents?
I don't want to go over there.
Okay.
Honestly, after my mom died, I had to go through a lot of therapy because I felt very guilty about what happened to her, and I felt like I'm the one who put her there, and the therapist was like, you made the best decision you could at the time with the information you had available to you, and I still struggle with that. Who would have not thought that she wouldn't be all right?
She might need a new home, or they need to figure something out, because this is not good for any of the residents, so yeah.
I absolutely.
I'd give them a heads up for sure.
Changes need to be made in the facilities. They have to protect these people.